and the length of the shackle. So if you want to make this long enough to go out of mass, you can just make a longer shackle. And you find the middle and make an O in it. Try to find the middle of the rope. 12 strands. You can use it for larger stuff. You can use it to make this ravel end go through. And I'm going to bring it down. It's a comfortable fit for I think there's one thing we've discovered from the test so far, that it's really a mistake to make this eye too tight. People want to make it super tight because they think it's going to be more secure. They're worried about it coming loose. Yeah. But I've seen very loose eyes on dingy sheets flogging at the speed of sound that don't come out. So, and might actually weaken it if you make it too tight. So just a nice, comfortable fit. And these will actually be fatter later. So something like that. And then in the real world, I'll come down the length of the shackle I want, which can be, very short or very long. And then put a double constriction knot, seize it here, if that was the length I wanted. And then that seizing preserves this eye length. So later on, it doesn't get sucked down. Right. Or more made too big. We don't have any suitable twine here. So just pretend it's there. I'll just try to preserve that. Okay. So this is a wall and crown variation that Clifford Ashley invented. It's number 880 in his book of knots. He shows you there's a 3- and 4-strand button. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I adapted it and made it a 2-strand button. And it's a wall and crown, so here's a wall. So this end just comes around, in this case, counterclockwise. There's a wall. And then you go under your neighbor. And then that neighbor goes under it and up through that other wall. So you'll have this little structure. And when you draw it up, it goes like that. It's a little easier than the seizing there to hold everything in place. There's the wall. Notice the ends go up. So the old sailor's mnemonic is you wall up, like you're building a wall up and the ends come up. And on top of that, you make a crown. So continue that counterclockwise motion. The end goes around over its neighbor instead of under it. And then this one goes over it, and then back down through it. And with 2 strands, it looks just like an overhand knot, but it's technically a crown. Right? Yes. So you got a wall, and you have a crown. And it's important to keep those distinct in your mind. There's a double layer structure there, right? Wall, crown. So keep that in your mind from now on. The next step is you're going to take each end up through the next wall ahead of the other end. So this is going to go again counterclockwise around up through the wall ahead of that end, not behind it, okay, but beyond it, ahead of it. Right? Mm-hmm. And that end goes counterclockwise around. And here's where it's valuable to have kept track of where the other wall is. It's right here. Up through that wall. Ahead of the other end. So that's the hard part. This is the maximum confusion point. So stop and spare it down. Just make it small so you can recognize everything. It's not too tight. Right? And again, you can make this with 3 and 4 strands. When you finish, you open up that crown, and you'll see the seizing where it would be, right in the very middle of everything, right? And there's, in this case, just 2 compartments. And you just tuck each end into the farther of the 2 compartments. So this end will go into that hole, and where my index finger is, and the other end will go into the hole and then down where my thumb is. And they'll both emerge at the stem, right alongside the stem of the knot. Great. That's the finished knot. Now comes the hard part, drawing it up. So you'll see there's 4 parts around the edge. You see those scallops, right? Two of them go to the seizing here and on the opposite side. And two of them go across the knot. So start with one of them that goes to the seizing, right there. Find out where it goes. Up. And then it's going to go over two pieces and under two pieces. If you tied it right, this is the way you can check. Here it goes under, and then it emerges. You pull it down, and then over, and then under, and you pull it up. And you finally take it down to the stem. Then you go to the other one, it goes to the stem, throw it up, throw it up. If you ever wonder where it's going to go to, just pull on it, see what moves. All right. Bring it up, pull it down. And now it's starting to look like a little more regular. Just keep doing that exercise, and eventually you can use a tool, like an awl. From the tests we've done, I actually made some intentionally loose, didn't really draw them up much firmer than this. And so far, in the couple dozen samples we've done, it doesn't seem to make a great deal of difference. But I still like to draw them up really firm, just because I really like to draw them up firm.
Right, because I know Congo goes on about how they stress it, how they firm it up in their lab or whatever.
Yeah, in New England, they cycled the ones that broke strongest, like 20 or 30% stronger than the rest of the samples. They cycled on about 50% of the average break strength of the previous knot, so they just pulled. And they get, now that's a recognizable button. Now, the reason we bother with this button instead of this somewhat simpler lanyard knot, which is the basis of the original soft shackle, is that they always broke right here, adjacent to that knot. The ends would go in, make the knot, and continue in the same direction. That's a lanyard knot. They always broke here, adjacent to this big stress riser. Spectra doesn't like knots. It weakens it radically, right? So all I'm going to do, or would do in the real world, is bury these ends into the standing parts about at least 10 diameters down, like about that far. Right? It'll actually, this stuff will shrink up, so I might put the tool in a little further down and then it'll shrink up to about 10 diameters. So you just, with a wand, you'd reach in there and grab it and pull the end down. And do that with both of them, and cut the ends on a taper, on an angle, and
with a ceramic knife.
You want to cut them with a ceramic knife, but otherwise you'll just dull your steel knife. And then very, very lightly, you can just do a few stitches at the very top. It doesn't provide anything except when you're not using it, it's in your pocket somewhere, the ends won't just fall out. But it's not about varying like a regular splice, it's just about providing more mass here.
Okay.
Right? And it works. We go from an average 120% break, the strongest ones in up to quarter inch, with breaking at like 280% of the rope strength.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's some tricks we can do to make them break close to that. Theoretically, we should be able to get about 400, well, as much as 400%, because you've got two parts here and two parts there.
Yeah, right.
Now, I'm sure we'll never reach 400, but I bet we can break 300. So this little shackle then has a breaking strength of about 3 tons. This is 1/8-inch Spectra.
Wow.
1/8-inch Spectra.
Yeah,
incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, so the breaking strength of this rope's around 2,000 something. So we can approach 6,000 pounds of tension with this, which weighs nothing, and you can make out a scrap that someone threw away.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
it's amazing.
Like West Marine.
Like, for instance, West Marine. Or even if you buy this, you know, just look for the price of a 6,000 break strength stainless shackle.
Yeah, right.
And then see what the price is for 4 feet of this stuff, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously. Good?
Great. Thank you.